In a remote corner of Indonesia, nestled amidst the dense ancient jungles, there stood an eerie house that bore witness to a history shrouded in darkness. The locals knew it as Rumah Satan, the Devil's House. Its sinister reputation spread far beyond the borders of the island. In America, on the other side of the world, the Morgans, a seemingly ordinary family, had recently moved into a quaint Victorian-style house in the heart of Salem, Massachusetts. Little did they know, their lives were about to be irrevocably changed by an entity from across the ocean. The Indonesian house had long been abandoned, its original purpose forgotten by time. Locals whispered tales of apparitions and malevolent spirits that roamed its decaying halls. Deep within its moss-covered walls lay the heart of darkness, an ancient artifact known as the Keris Hantu, or the Ghost Dagger. Unbeknownst to the Morgans, their move to Salem coincided with the awakening of this sinister force. As Mr. Morgan returned home one evening from work, he stumbled upon an old chest hidden away in the attic. Inside, the ghost dagger lay gleaming, its ornate handle adorned with intricate carvings. Back in Indonesia, a shaman named Chandra had devoted his life to guarding Rumah Satan, knowing the grave consequences if the ghost dagger were ever removed. That fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon in both America and Indonesia, an otherworldly connection was forged. As Mr. Morgan touched the dagger, an icy chill coursed through his veins. Unbeknownst to him, his fate had been sealed. Simultaneously, in Rumah Satan, Chandra felt a surge of dark energy, like a tether connecting him to an unknowing victim across the world. Nights in the Morgans' new home took a sinister turn. Whispers echoed through the hallways, shadows danced in corners, and the once cozy house now exuded an oppressive aura. Mrs. Morgan, sensing something amiss, sought solace in the Salem Historical Society's archives. In Indonesia, Chandra's desperation grew as he deciphered the ancient scrolls that foretold the dagger's evil power. He realized that a powerful ritual could banish the entity, but only if he could find a way to bridge the divide between the two worlds. One fateful night, as a tempest raged outside the Morgans' home, Mr. Morgan, under the dagger's sinister influence, became possessed for the first time. His eyes turned black as coal, and his voice morphed into a guttural growl. In that moment, the connection between Indonesia and America intensified. Mrs. Morgan, undaunted by her husband's transformation, pressed on with her research. She uncovered the story of the ghost dagger and its link to Rumah Satan. Desperate for answers, she contacted the Salem Historical Society, where an expert in the occult, Professor Harrison, offered his assistance. Back in Indonesia, Chandra had pieced together the ritual that could save the Morgans and break the curse of the ghost dagger. With the help of a local shamanic council, he embarked on a perilous journey to Salem, armed with ancient knowledge and spiritual artifacts. As Professor Harrison delved deeper into the history of the ghost dagger, he uncovered an unsettling truth. The Morgans were not the first family to be ensnared by its malevolent power. The dagger's dark legacy stretched back centuries, leaving a trail of possession and torment in its wake. The night of reckoning arrived, as Chandra and his fellow shamans converged on Salem, guided by mystical visions. They performed the ancient ritual in the heart of the Morgans' haunted home. As the possessed Mr. Morgan roared in agony, the connection between Indonesia and America strained and trembled, threatening to tear the very fabric of reality. In a climactic struggle between good and evil, the ritual's power prevailed. The ghost dagger's grip on Mr. Morgan weakened, and with a final, anguished cry, the dark entity was banished back to Rumah Satan in Indonesia, severing the supernatural link between the two worlds. Exhausted but victorious, Chandra and the shamans returned to Indonesia, leaving behind a grateful family in Salem. The Morgans, forever scarred by their harrowing experience, continued to live in their historic home, forever vigilant against the sinister forces that lurked in the shadows. The Devil's House in Indonesia returned to its eerie silence as the ghost dagger lay dormant once more, waiting for the next unwitting victim to unearth its malevolent power. The world remained blissfully unaware of the ancient, terrifying connection between two houses, on opposite sides of the globe, bound by a sinister dagger that transcended time and space.